Face casting. For all three-dimensional prosthetic makeups that need to be applied to a specific actor or actress, a facial impression must be made. The first thing we have to do when face casting is to prepare our model. It is important to make sure the model is comfortable and knows exactly what is going to happen. Talk to the model through the entire procedure and never leave the model on her own. It is a good idea to practice some hand gestures with the model, as they will be unable to speak throughout the process. Make sure the model is sat comfortably, cover their clothing and put some Vaseline over the model's eyebrows, eyelashes and any baby hairs to protect these hairs. It is now time to set up the work area. You will need some alginate measured out in a bowl and some water measured in a cup. Follow manufacturer's instructions to find these measurements. You will need some wooden spatulas to help remove the outer edge of the alginate and to help put on the alginate. Also some cotton buds to remove any alginate that may go near the model's nostrils. It is helpful to have someone on nostril duty to watch to keep the nostrils clear of alginate at all times so that the model can breathe. You will also need some plaster bandages. Cut these up into different sizes for different parts of the face and a bucket of water to activate these. Do not put this water down the sink, as once used, the plaster will harden and block the sink. Once you have all of this ready, it is now time to face cast. Start by mixing the water with the alginate and work quickly before it cures, starting with the perimeter of the face and then the eyes and then the mouth last. Once the alginate is on and the nostrils are clear, it is time to apply the plaster bandages, making sure not to get these on the skin as they heat up when setting. Using a spatula and you're asking the model to wiggle her face, the cast will start to come away from the face, leaving the face cast. Blocking the nose is important so that no plaster leaks through the nostrils of the cast. Mix up a small amount of alginate, making sure to push out any lumps using your hands, and then push this into the nostrils of the cast and put some plaster bandages over these. It is important to make sure you do this properly, as this can distort the cast. Smooth out the alginate inside of the nose to make sure you get a smooth nostril. And like before, using small strips of plaster bandages dipped in some water, put this over the alginate. This plaster cuff keeps the alginate in place. You have to fill the alginate pretty quickly with plaster, as if you leave the alginate too long it will shrink and also dry out and crack. This is then unable to be used. Once this is done, it is now time to mix up the plaster. Have a small bucket filled with a little bit of water and then add the plaster to this. Using your hands, mix this. Mix and add some more plaster until it resembles a pancake batter. The warmer the water, the faster the plaster will set, so keep this in mind. Make sure you have the other bucket with your face cast in it, but make sure this is propped up using tissues so that when you're pouring the plaster in, the plaster doesn't run out or it doesn't tip. Pour the plaster from a height to make sure that there's no air bubbles. Fill it as far as you can, and if it is not reaching the edges, you can tip the cast slightly so that the plaster hits onto the alginate and it ends up setting. Once the cast has been demoulded, the plaster face needs to be cleaned up. Using sandpaper and a sanding block, these can be used to take any rough edges away. Also, any extra bumps of plaster that may have occurred on the face can be removed using dental tools. Once all of this has been done, the face cast is ready to be sculpted upon.